Good morning to all. In this session, we are going to discuss about the topic hydrogen. So, hydrogen is the first element in the periodic table. However, its placement in the periodic table has been subject of discussion in the past. As you know by now that the elements in the periodic tables are arranged according to the electronic configuration. The electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. On one hand, its electronic configuration is similar to the outermost electronic configuration of the alkali metals, which belongs to the first group of the periodic table. Next one is occurrence of hydrogen. Dihydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. About 70% of the total mass of the universe is a combination of a dihydrogen and is the principal element in the solar atmosphere. The green planets Jupiter and Saturn consist mostly of hydrogen. So these are the occurrence of hydrogens. Next one is isotopes of hydrogen. Hydrogen has three isotopes, that is protium 1H1, deuterium 1H2, tritium 1H3. These are the three forms of hydrogen. Isotopes means the atoms having same atomic number but different mass number. Here you can see the atomic number of protium, deuterium and tritium are equal to 1, but their mass number will changes from 1 to 3. So this concept belongs to isotopes. So hydrogen mainly forms three types of isotopes: protium, deuterium and tritium. Preparation of dihydrogens. There are number of methods for preparing this dihydrogen. So in that, laboratory method of preparation of dihydrogen is, it is prepared by the reaction of granulated zinc with dilute hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. When you treat the zinc with the when you treating zinc with the HCl, it will give ZnCl2 plus H2, or you can write Zn in an acidic medium, that is H plus, so it will give Zn2 plus and hydrogen gas is liberated from this reaction. And it can also be prepared by the action of aqueous alkyl, alkali metal zinc with the aqueous alkyl. Here you can see that Zn upon treating with a NaOH, it will give sodium zincate complex along with the production of H2. So this one is a laboratory method for the preparation of dihydrogen. Commercial production method is by electrolysis of acidified water using platinum electrodes gives the hydrogen. During an electrolysis process, that is the water molecule upon undergo electrolysis, it will give H2 plus O2. And high purity, that is 99.95% dihydrogen is obtained by electrolyzing warm aqueous barium hydroxide solution between nickel electrodes. Barium hydroxide solution ಅನ್ನ ನಿಕ್ಕಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ ಮೇಡ್ಲು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. And it is obtained as a byproduct in the manufacture of sodium hydroxide and chlorine by the electrolysis of brine solutions. So the brine solution is nothing but a NaCl. NaCl is nothing but a brine solution. During electrolysis process, we can get the hydrogen of from this brine solution. The reaction of steam on hydrocarbons or coke at high temperature in the presence of catalyst yields hydrogen. Here is a reaction. CnH2n plus 2 means alkanes on reacted with the water molecule in presence of a nickel, so it will give carbon monoxide with the liberation of hydrogen. You can take the methane as an example. Methane upon reacted with the water in presence of a nickel as a catalyst, it will produces carbon monoxide and a hydrogens. So here the mixture of carbon monoxide and a hydrogen is called as a syngas. Nowadays, this syngas is produced from sewage, sea dust, scrap wood, newspaper, etc. The process of producing syngas from the coal is called coal gasification process. Here is that when carbon upon reacted with the water, so it will produces carbon monoxide and hydrogens. The production of dihydrogen can be increased by reacting carbon monoxide of syngas mixture with the steam in presence of a iron chromate as a catalyst. We will get carbon dioxide and dihydrogen. So from this method we can increase the production of a dihydrogen from the syngas. Next one is chemical properties of dihydrogen. So before that, the physical property of dihydrogen. So that dihydrogen is a colorless, odorless, tasteless and combustible gas. It is lighter than air and insoluble in water. So this one becomes their physical property. Coming to chemical properties, the reaction with the halogens means the dihydrogen is readily react with the halogens, so it will produces hydrogen halide complex. Halogen means fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. The dihydrogen upon reacting with the halogens, it will produces hydrogen halides. So if you consider H2 upon reacted with the Cl2, it will give two molecules of HCl as a complex or two molecules of HBr, like that. So upon reacted with the halogens, it will produces hydrogen halide complex. Next one, reaction with dioxygen. When hydrogen reacted with a dioxygen, it will produces water molecule during a catalyst or a heating process. In presence of a catalyst or by heating, you will get the water molecule. So this one is exothermic reaction. In that case, large amount of heat energy is liberated to the surrounding. Next one, reaction with dinitrogen. With dinitrogen to form a ammonia. The dihydrogen reacted with the dinitrogen, so it will produces ammonia molecule. This one is also an exothermic reaction. Next one, reactions with metals. When hydrogen reacted with the metals, so it will produces metal hydride as a complex. So in that case, if you consider hydrogen upon reacted with the palladium Pd2 plus metal or metal ions, so it will produce palladium in a solid state and 2H plus ions is liberated from this reactions. So these are the chemical properties of dihydrogen. So coming to uses of dihydrogens, this is widely used for the manufacture of hydrides and it is used for the preparation of hydrogen chlorides, a highly useful chemical. HCl is a highly useful chemical. It is a laboratory reagent. Uh, Dihydrogen is used for the manufacture of vanaspati fat. You call that one as a dalda. So these are the uses of dihydrogens. Next one is hydrides. Dihydrogen under certain reaction condition combines with the almost all elements except noble gases to form a binary compounds called hydrides. If E is the symbol of the element, so if you consider E is a symbol of the element, the hydrides can be expressed as EHX. For example, MgH2. So this is one type of hydrides, or EM HN. Here M and N are nothing but stoichiometric coefficients. You can give the example B2H6. These are all hydrides forms. These hydrides are mainly classified into uh, three category, usually three category, that is ionic or saline, second one covalent or molecular hydrides, third one is a metallic or non-stoichiometric hydrides. So these are the classification of hydrides. The first one, ionic or saline hydrides. Hydrides are formed between hydrogen and electropositive elements of group 1 and belonging to S blocks. These are known as stoichiometric compounds. The properties of these saline or ionic hydrides are the hydrides of lighter elements like lithium, beryllium, and magnesium, etc., have a significant covalent character. So these type of hydrides will have a significant covalent character. Ionic hydrides are crystalline, non-volatile, and non-conducting in solid state, and they conduct electricity in a molten state and liberate hydrogen at the anode rods or anode electrode site. Next one is covalent or molecular hydrides. These are binary compounds of hydrogen with non-metals belonging to p block. For example, NH3, CH4, H2O, and HF. They are mostly volatile compounds with low boiling points. They are classified as electron deficient molecular hydrides. The molecular hydrides in which central atom does not have octet are called electron deficient hydrides. Example, BH3, MgH2, BeH2. So these are all hydride forms. Electron precise hydrides, those hydrides in which the central atom has its octet complete. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೈಡ್ಸು ಅದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟೇಟನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಗ್ರೂಪ್ 14 hydrides, they are tetrahedral in geometry. So you can take the example of methane, CH4. So that will follow the octet configuration, means 8 electron. The hydrogen will follow the nearest noble gas, helium configuration. Next, electron rich hydrides. Those metal hydrides which contain lone pair of electrons are called electron rich hydrides. Example, NH3, PH3, H2O, and H2S. NH3 and PH3 has one lone pair, and H2O and H2S have two lone pairs of electron on it. Next one, metallic or non-stoichiometric, or it is called as interstitial hydrides. These hydrides are also known as interstitial hydrides because the hydrogen present at the interstitial position of that particular complex. Transition metal group 3, 4, and 5 form a metallic hydrides. In group 6, chromium alone has a tendency to form CrH. Metals of 7 and 8 7, 8, and 9 do not form a hydrides. This is called as a hydride gap. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪೀರಿಯಾಡಿಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಹೈಡ್ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಟೊಯ್ಕಿಯೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ 7, 8, 9 ಹೈಡ್ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೈಡ್ರೈಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಶೋಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ನಿಕೆಲ್ palladium seed and actinides are interstitial in nature. That means they can occupy hydrogen atom in the interstitial sites. The hydrides are generally non-stoichiometric and their composition varies with the temperature and pressures. For example, TiH 1.73, these are interstitial compounds. CeH 2.7, LaH 2.8, etc. These hydrides have metallic lock and their properties are closely related to those of the parent metal. So the parent metal in a property closely related ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ TiH 1.73 ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಇದರ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೈಡಿನ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಟಿ ಐನ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೆಟಲ್ lattice. Next one, water. Human body has about 65% and some plants have nearly 95% water. So this physical property of water is freezing point of water is 273.15 Kelvin and boiling point is 373.15 Kelvin, or you can say 100 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius. The maximum density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram centimeter cube per cube. It is a colorless and a tasteless liquid. Due to hydrogen bonding with the polar molecules, even a covalent compound like alcohol and carbohydrates dissolves in water molecule. So, structure of water. In the gas phase, water is bent molecule with a bond angle 104.5 degree and OH bond length of 95.7 picometers. So in a gaseous phase, it has a bent structure with a bond angle 104.5 degree and this bond length is about 95.7 picometer. So this one is a H2O molecule orbital overlap picture. So this one is bent structure. The water molecule as a dipoles. Dipole means charge separation. Since this oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, it will pull the electron towards itself from this hydrogen, and this hydrogen it will get a partial charge, that is delta minus. So this hydrogen becomes a partial positive charge, that is H delta H plus. So this one becomes the structure of hydrogen in a gaseous water molecule in a gaseous phase. Next, water in a crystalline form, that is ice. Ice is a crystalline form of water. At atmospheric pressure, ice crystallizes in the hexagonal form. At low temperature, it condenses to cubic form. The density of ice is less than that of water. Therefore, the ice cubes can float on a water. So, ice cubes and a water tub ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ because the density of water is higher than that of ice. So, the ice molecule usually form a hexagonal structure. Here you can see the hexagonal arrangement of this ice molecule. The water molecule, the hydrogen bond will exist between the hydrogen of one atom and oxygen of the another atom. So these are the structure of water molecule. Thank you.